Hi, this is Don Robinson and welcome to my Deep Wreck Diver channel. I've had loads of comments on recent videos about underwater strobes, so I thought I'd put something together showing what I use and why I think they're really important. For the kind of diving that I do, which is UK tidal waters, relatively deep, 60 metres plus, technical diving, it's pretty much a given that every diver, when they go down to the bottom of the shot line, will stick a strobe on. And the reason is it helps you to find your way back. Now that sounds fairly straightforward and it's something that people do, but it isn't until you get to a dive like the one I'm at the moment that it really reinforces how important that was. This is the wreck of the Ballarat, which is probably 40 miles off the Lizard Peninsula in Cornwall. It's 85 metres deep and it's been salvaged and it's absolutely flat, really broken, really difficult to navigate. And at this point in the dive, I was considerably overdue at being back to the shot line. And the reason is that I've been looking around for the shot line for ages and not being able to find it. It was just so difficult to navigate on the wreck. And without that single strobe up there, I'd never have found it. I knew I was the last diver on this wreck. I knew everyone else had got back, and therefore I knew that there was only my strobe at the bottom of the shot line. Now, if this strobe hadn't have been there, then I'd never have found the shot line. If that strobe had failed, I'd never have found the shot line. So I'd have had to put up my delayed SMB and bag off and float with the current away from all the other divers on the lazy shot and just pray that the boat was able to follow both sets of divers. So it was a really emotional dive for me and a really emotional moment, and just reinforced how important that these having strobes at the bottom of the shot line are, and how important it is to have decent ones and how important it is to have them that work. So onto what I've got. Well, I use a double strobe, and the reason I use a double strobe is because why wouldn't you? It gives you a whole load of redundancy. I have two different ones, as you can see there, one by Hymax and the other one's by Shark. They're both attached together on a bit of bungee, and that bit of bungee obviously goes around the shot line. You can see there's just a bit of a twist grip there to turn them on. The Hymax one just goes one way. First of all, there's a constant beam, which I never use, and then there's a flash. The Shark one is a bit different. It's one way is the constant beam and the other way is the flashing light. If I'm honest, I prefer the Hymax one just because the flash is a bit more frequent, which I think is useful. They both use a similar sort of system in that you open them up and they've got the same battery inside, which is kind of, I don't know what size that is, but there's a lot of power in there, and these strobes go for quite a long time. So, that's pure Chinesium there. And both these strobes I think I got from somehow not Temu, but AliExpress or something like that. And they're both really good quality. Nice and bright. They work well. Battery life is good, and relatively cheap for what they are. I guess the only thing I'd flag up is, and you probably see the Hymax one there is probably getting to the end of its life. Those rotary magnetic switches that they've got are not the best in the world, so the magnets inside rot, and ultimately it will die. But that's just the way these things are. And actually, I'll have had 4 years use out of it, maybe 5 years use out of it, and several hundred dives. So that's a pretty decent trade. So how do you get these things on the shot? Well, once again, no particular rocket science here. I've got that bungee cord on. You can see there I've got it hanging in my left arm. This is actually just a single strobe, but this is a really clear piece of video. So there you go. You can see I've got the single strobe. It's flashing already. Just wrap that bungee round twice, and then using the clip on, I just clip it back onto the bit of bungee, and the bungee will hold it there on the shot line, and it's not going to slip up, and away we go. Good with the dive. So nice and straightforward. Now this shows one of the problems, and on this video you can see I've got a single strobe. I go to turn it on, and it's not working. And that is one of the really good reasons why I now dive with a double strobe. You can see it's really faint there, so either that one's on its way out, or there's a problem with the battery or something like that. You can also see I haven't got the white balance right on this video, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, so I've had to do this dive without a strobe. Now, luckily, this wreck is quite small and easy to navigate myself around, so I know I'm going to be able to get back. Also, looks like the world supply of nets on it, which is not great, but that sometimes happens. But yeah, on a bigger dive like that Ballarat dive, having strobe that didn't work would be really, really upsetting. So that's why I dive with 2. Here's another strobe-related incident at the opposite end of the dive, though. So here I am getting back to the shot line. It's great. You can see it's really slack there. The rope's vertical. I'm coming up. There's some strobes. There you go. There's double strobe. Brilliant. I think that's mine. So I'm going to take it off. All good so far. Now, what the more astute of you will have noticed is that I have a bit of green tape on the bottom of mine, and you've probably seen the second set of double strobes there has got the green tape on. So what I've done there is I've taken someone else's strobes off. Luckily, I've realised and I've put them back on. But this does sometimes happen. People take each other's strobes, and that's why we all mark them. I use green tape, like you can see there. That's kind of a hangover from my days when I rock climbed, and everybody used to stick bits of electrical tape on all their gear. So, and you can see there's a load of other different types of strobes on that shot line. So everyone's got their own favourite type. I'm not saying mine are better than anyone else's. They're just the ones that I happen to use and I like. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. A bit shorter than lots of my other ones, but you know, hopefully it's useful if you're interested in strobes. And yeah, as always, leave us a comment. Let us know what your favourite strobe is. Obviously, if you've enjoyed the video, give us a like. If you haven't, tell me what you didn't like, and I will look forward to seeing you on my next video. Thank you.